Enemy at home. When the month of Pisces gave way to the month of Aries, and the greenery of youth once again adorned the earth, and the springs of water turned a Nile-like color to be the bearers of life, and the air took on the scent of musk, and the breeze of Nowruz mingled with the fragrance of basil, and plants sprouted from the ground, and the sun's color was purified from dark clouds, and the snow, like camphor, descended from the mountain peaks like tears from the eyes, and the rivers swelled in grandeur, and eyes opened to the transformation of the cosmos, and the new song of nature reached the ears, and the morning breeze wafted over the fields of purple-violet flowers, and the lilies raised a flag of flowers on the water castles to greet the sun, and the nightingales sang every night until the time of the morning rooster's call, and the falcons sang in harmony with nature, bringing the celebration to its peak. Meanwhile, the dove lamented at dawn, and the garden of nature was like a delightful painting. King Bahram had organized a magnificent court on such a day. At the same time, a messenger from the eastern city of Iran arrived at the Seven Domes, and went straight to the Palace of Six Arches. When he reached that paradise palace, he greeted King Bahram, and informed him that the rebellious Chinese Khan had broken his oath, and was marching with an army towards the Iranian border. An army that, sword in hand, marched in waves towards the giant river, and remained like a flood pouring into the desert. As if a whale is swimming in the sea. If the king does not stop them, they will surely devour our blood. When Bahram heard this news, saw any negligence as the cause of further calamities. So he threw the wine cup on the ground and thought about how to bring down the enemy. So he said to himself, I can only go to the battlefield against the Chinese army by spending from the treasury and equipping the army. But when he went to the treasury, he was amazed to find it empty, and when he examined the state of the army, he realized that the army was disorganized and lacking in equipment. Everything seemed ambiguous to him. Bahram had a minister named Nossi, who outwardly appeared to be a pious man, but when the king was feasting and drinking wine, he was busy inciting discord and sedition, constantly adding to his wealth through improper means. He had even deceived the deputy king with gold coins and convinced him that the people had become very demanding and insolent, and the favors of the kingdom had made them ungrateful and no longer obedient to the court. If we do not suppress them now and do not give them a good lesson, they will revolt against the king, because the nature of the people is bad and they are like dogs and even lower than that. Although they appear human in appearance, they are predatory animals inside and cannot be expected to be loyal to the court, and they can only be forced to obey them. If you review the fate of previous kings in history, you will realize that any king who neglected disciplining the people later suffered losses. Just as they overthrew King Dara. If the king is drunk, the enemy is alert. If the king is asleep, the thief is awake. If the king is negligent in managing affairs, the kingdom will be ruined. Enemies and demons flee from a ruthless king. The people of the land are like demons. When they do not recognize their limits, their bones must be broken, otherwise they will break the foundations of the kingdom. The king is busy with drinking, hoping for us. I have a pen to write orders, and you have a sword to enforce judicial decisions. I can plan and issue arrest warrants, you do the rest and arrest them by force. Pull the wealth of the rich out of their clutches, and shed the blood of the poor. You are authorized to punish people, take their property and lives. You can humiliate the people until they fear you and their respect for you increases. When the people of the land become poor, humiliated and fearful, then the kingdom will always remain stable. So the deputy king conspired with this corrupt minister to oppress the people, engaging in excessive tyranny, and showing no mercy to anyone. They seized the houses and properties of the people, arresting anyone who dared to protest. Within a few years, no one was left with any property or belongings. There were no treasures found in the houses, and even the wealthy had become poor. The cities and villages were in ruins, the people were displaced, fleeing to the mountains and deserts, abandoning their homes to save their lives. Nothing was being cultivated in the fields, there were no jobs in the villages, and the treasury of the king was empty. Only the minister's house was filled with treasures and coins. However, King Borom had neither money nor an army to confront the Chinese army. After questioning all the officials and ministers to understand the reason for this situation, none of them dared to tell the truth to the king out of fear of the minister. They all lied and shifted responsibility. The king was not satisfied with their answers, but did not know how to go to war with China without proper preparations.